Fatal phone call. Sonya Massey's family alongside Ben Crump addressing the public for the first time since Sheriff Jack Campbell announced his retirement. Fox Illinois' Carolina Hassett was there and has more on legislation they're working on in Sonya's name.
That's right. While Sonya Massey's family says Campbell's retirement is a good first step, it's going to take a lot to overhaul the system that hired Grayson in the first place. Now, Crump and his team have been working on a proposal for a new law to prevent what happened to Sonya Massey from happening again. They say the bill would work on ways to fix flaws he believes is included in the Safety Act. This includes a police database that includes infractions on the job and not just past felony convictions or serious misdemeanors.
We wanted to include infractions such as DUIs. We wanted to include infractions as driving 101 miles per hour during a police chase. We wanted to include if you use excessive force or unnecessary profane language on a citizen.
Now, the attorneys added that law enforcement would be required to report these infractions. He added legislation seeks a waiting period of at least 45 days before hiring an officer, so a thorough background check can be complete. In Springfield, I'm Carolina Hassett. Back to you.
Thanks, Carolina. James Wilburn, Sonya Massey's father, joined the conference on Zoom, said, quote, "We need to see a complete changing of the system that allowed Sean Grayson to kill my daughter," end quote. More details about this legislation will be revealed tonight on our sister station, News Channel 20 at 6 p.m. at a rally for Sonya Massey at Pleasant Grove Baptist Church.
Fatal phone call. Calls for justice continue for Sonya Massey. The Springfield mother of two was shot and killed by a former Sangamon County deputy who is now facing multiple charges, including first-degree murder in connection to Sonya's death. And the Springfield community gathering today at Pleasant Grove Baptist Church. Members of the Massey family, as well as attorney Ben Crump, addressing the crowd. They say they will continue to push for justice for Sonya and demand accountability from law enforcement, not just for the shooting, but in the aftermath of the tragedy.
So I went over to the house not expecting the unexpected or expecting anything that I experienced. And I was hurt and I was angry. What I saw was her first cousin on the floor sopping up blood with a body towel by herself. I got outside and I called the sheriff and I said, "What the heck is going on? Why isn't anybody here helping her?" And they said the state police took over it. That's still no excuse.
Speakers at the rally also continued the push for complaints against police officers to be made accessible to the public. And attorney Ben Crump also continuing to speak out, calling out the sheriff once again.
About the sheriff, he gave his word that he's going to help get justice for Sonya Massey. Well, we want to see your actions.
Sonya Massey's father joined the conference on Zoom due to health conditions, saying, quote, "We need to see a complete changing of the system that allowed Sean Grayson to kill my daughter," end quote. And now for a follow-up, the Sangamon County Board met with people for the first time since the aftermath of Sonya Massey's death, and dozens of speakers were demanding change to law enforcement. Fox Illinois' Carson Gordy shares more after attending last night's meeting. Carson.
From more funding to stricter procedures, some speakers want measures to prevent a death like Sonya Massey's from happening again.
To address this, we must scrutinize and examine the financial decisions behind our law enforcement strategies.
Some speakers called for more funding for mental health counselors to go on first responder calls with deputies and more training for de-escalation programs for deputies. Sangamon County Democrat Sam Kamen agrees, as well as Republican board member Andy Van Meter. Kamen says that changes to the budget, such as cuts to some expenses, may need to happen.
We need more mental health training, more publicity about this 988 number. I don't think very many people know about it.
Some speakers want tougher background checks when hiring deputies. They criticized Sangamon County for hiring Sean Grayson, who had documented allegations of police misconduct at previous employers. The county says they were not aware of those situations before they hired him.
Probably a question that has to be dealt with at the state level, that there needs to be some sort of law or some sort of clearance system for the background on these other deputies.
So would there be an in-house policy where you would want the sheriff to FOIA request on his own so you could see that?
Again, that's really an issue for the sheriff to decide, but clearly we have to do something to improve the level of information we have about incoming deputies.
Van Meter says he's looked at how Minneapolis and other cities reform their law enforcement agencies after cases of police brutality.
We've learned so far is that the process isn't quick. There aren't quick answers here. It takes a lot of listening, and it takes a very transparent process.
Some speakers I spoke to say they will continue to come to county board meetings until they see reforms enacted. I'm Carson Gordy. Back to you.
Thank you, Carson. And Sheriff Jack Campbell announced he is retiring by August 31st. The Sangamon County Board will have 60 days from his retirement to find an interim replacement. Don't miss a video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel today for more Central Illinois news.